Yes.
Mr. Gaddafi, thanks very much for seeing us. It's nearly 7 o'clock in the evening here in Tripoli, and you're in your capital city, but there are large areas of this country which you don't control anymore. There are even people in towns quite near here who are part of this rising, this rebellion. What are you going to do about all of that?
What is the question?
The question is that there's a rebellion going on in this country.
التقدير لهذه المؤسسات.
Maybe this is the first time I meet journalists these days. As a mark of respect for the establishment you represent, and because I was informed that you're here to tell the truth and relay facts to the whole world, I've decided to meet the press. Although I had so many requests for interviews, I prefer to address the masses. I don't like to appear on television.
Of Britain and other leaders are calling on you to step down, to leave Libya, to leave your position of power. Will you do that?
أنا شنو اللي بنتركه؟ شنو هو اللي بنتركه؟ أنا ما عنديش أي منصب.
Stand down from what post? What position? I don't have any position. I don't lead Libya. Libya does not have a leader or president or king. Libya is a state of the masses. Power belongs to the people's congresses and committees. Since 1977, I haven't had any power.
Will you leave Libya?
How can one leave one's country? Why should I leave my country?
ليش نتركها؟
Why do I leave my homeland?
They say that they've done it because you have ordered force against your people, shooting of protesters.
This is a lie, 100%. News agencies are not fact-finding missions.
We have cells that were activated, took up weapons to kill policemen, kill soldiers. There were casualties on both sides for 2 or 3 days, and weapons were stolen. Now, on both sides, the army and the police aside, the rebels, there have been at the most 100 people killed.
Out in the desert, it's obviously less important if Gaddafi's military can't shoot straight, and it has been striking how inaccurate their bombing runs have been from the air. While it's true that some weapons dumps have been destroyed, in many places the warplanes have continually missed their targets. But even if on occasion the rebels do find a way of shooting one down, air supremacy remains a huge psychological advantage for Gaddafi.
When we arrived, we didn't find any opposition because the people here are good. The people welcome us and greet us. But when we were inside, 2 Mirage planes overflew us and 1 helicopter. They wanted to shoot, but we shot them first.
All the same, if there are questions over the aptitude of the Libyan military, then the same must go for the rebel forces, whose euphoric advance was met with organised resistance they couldn't handle, and so little hospitals have been overwhelmed. It's also emerging that many of the fighters have no idea how to use their weapons and are injuring themselves.
Let's take a listen again after 40 years at the leader of Libya, Muammar Gaddafi.
Fear which will be the pure business of the internal affairs. I mean the government. It is the internal affairs of a certain government. No country.
Mr. President, may I ask you some questions? The first question is, does Iraq possess weapons of mass destruction?
There is only one truth, and therefore I tell you, as I have said on many occasions before, that Iraq has no weapons of mass destruction whatsoever. We challenge anyone who claims that we have to bring forward any evidence and present it to public opinion.
Can you remain standing, please? We would like to read out the verdict. I am listening to you. No, I'm sitting down. I'm not standing. I would like to remain seated. Do not touch me. I'll have a word with you. The court has decided to sentence defendant Saddam Hussein al-Majid to be executed with hanging. Long live the people. Long live the nation. Down with the traitors. Down with the invaders. God is great. God is great. God is great. Article number 10 of 2005. This decision and verdict has been in accordance with 244. Long live the nation. Down with the agents. Down with the invaders. In accordance with Article 24. Go to hell with your law and your articles and clauses.
This is the paperwork being signed here by
Yes, it's the paperwork being signed. We're about to see him with two people, his hands tied behind his back. That's going to come up in a moment. And the guards, you will see, have masks on. You're about to see that.
These are the legal documents. There he is. There he is in that black jacket. And as we say, those Iraqis around him with the masks to prevent, of course, their identity being shown. And there's the noose. Extraordinary pictures of his final moments. And in terms of his appearance, as we heard from Muwafiq al-Rubai, he appeared a broken man.
Okay, I put a little bit of what we call a health warning on. He's about to be led to the noose. We're not going to show the moment of impact, but again, you know, not everybody may wish to see this. But he's about to be led towards the noose. He's being spoken to. He's refused the hood.
And this is where he said that, as you say, he would not accept the noose and would face that fairly awful sight, that sort of rusting metal gate with a noose hung over it.
I'm looking at this 5 seconds ahead of, and it's cut away. So at that point, I think perhaps we should cut away as well.
This year, we just must have elections. They just must take place, with or without a new constitution. No, the party will find a successor. It's the people who will find a successor. I came from the people, and the people, in their wisdom, are members of the party, will certainly select someone once I say, well, I'm now retiring. But not yet. At this age, I still can go some distance, can't I? It has always been peaceful, very peaceful. And in Libya. The African Union was and remains fully seized with this crisis and will spare no energies in fully complementing the United Nations so that peace returns to Libya and its tormented people. We wish that process Godspeed. Mr. President,
The bones were smashed in both arms. They're targeting us, he says. Mugabe lost the whole area where I live, and now they just want to beat up people, so Mugabe wins.